timing, choose a special day. Again, that's part of ritual. You put more meaning into the whole process, yeah? So classical things, do it after the full moon, the energy kind of getting yin, but actually that's good for letting go of things. So when you want to go on a diet, start your fast after the full moon, not before the full moon. Also, you know, cutting hair or sort of doing sort of things that kind of where you let go are much better after the full moon. But in the morning, where the energy is rising, so you've got a nice kind of balance of yin and yang. Check your biorhythm, where you are in your cycle of energy, and see. And actually, there's a very neat application for the iPhone biorhythm, and you can just check, and you can learn all kinds of things. It's fantastic. Wednesday and Thursday, kind of from the Western point of view, Western astrological point of view, are quite good for selling the place, because Wednesday is about Mercury and selling and so on. Thursday is about expansion, kind of moving forward. But also check for Mercury retrograde. Do you know about Mercury retrograde? Check it online. It's when Mercury is kind of going back on its cycle and things go wrong. Technically, so it's not the best time to really put a house on sale. And check 9-star key. You know, John Sandifer, and now we've got an application for 9-star key. Check it out, and so it will help you kind of balance the whole thing, but also position yourself in time. Okay, a few sort of Feng Shui rituals. Space clearing, obviously. Now, I recommend this little space clearing. It's one of the best things on the market. It's about £10. It's batch flowers, and you can get it from Ainsworth. It's called Cleanse and Protect. And you just sort of spray it in each corner and go around. You can also cleanse your aura. It actually smells very nice, so I'll leave it here so you can. But I've got one for somebody who's desperate to sell the house. Salt. Salt in traditional sort of cultures, people use salt for cleansing rituals, in Japan especially. Just put salt in the corners. For 2-3 days, it will absorb any sort of negative energy and kind of yang guys the whole place. Doorknobs. Have you heard about doorknobs? Wonderful ritual. Clean all the doorknobs in your house. If you want to change something, you need to change something, yes? So if you want to change yourself or you want to have a move, and a lot of people you know, come to me and because they're stuck and don't move. So little things like that, you go through the whole place and clear them all. It changes the energy. It's amazing. I got this ritual from Jeannie Tower, who's a Feng Shui practitioner from the US. Aromatherapy, all those traditional things, you know, coffee, baked bread, flowers work. People know about. It's a kind of placebo, but actually it works. Because smell, when you work with smells, it gets into your limbic system. You cannot edit it. You know that they're doing it for that purpose, but you cannot delete it. It works. Yeah. Have a party. You know, throw a party. Move out. I had a few clients who were so desperate. They moved out just to create the movement, and it's solved. And you mentioned already, talk to others. So talk to neighbors, you know, but right people, don't sort of spread, you need to be focused in a way, but don't sort of talk too much. Some more rituals. That's a simple one. Once it's on the market, you get your brochure or from the state and just write salt across the whole paper, you know, big letters, red marker, salt, yeah? Red letter, it's nothing to do with your red letters. But red letter rituals, one of my favorite rituals for selling places. This is how it goes. You take a piece of wood from your kitchen, from around the stove. So it's kind of center of the house, or sort of energetic center of the house in that sense, and put it in a red envelope, or if you don't have a red envelope, in a red piece of paper. You find a river. If you can't find a river, a junction, you know, road junction will do as well. And you hold the paper, the envelope in your left hand, and you throw it behind into the river or the junction over your right shoulder. Don't ask me why. I'm just, you know, repeating the thing. It works. And don't look back. Think about the price you want to get, and just walk about. I don't know how many places I've sold. Because people call me and they ask me, okay, I say, well, try this one. And if it still doesn't sell, I'll come and have a look. And quite often, this is one of the most powerful things. And this is very ancient. I think I found it in Polish sort of folklore. Now, the key thing is timing again. So you need to do it midday or midnight, points of change. Again, after the full moon, so midday or midnight. Yeah. If you're throwing into a river, there was one case, we were trying to sell this clinic in Knightsbridge, and this lady, we did this, I told her to do the ritual, and she did the ritual, but it wasn't selling, so I went online and checked, and actually the Thames River there was a tide coming in, right, going out. So she did the ritual again, water going out to the sea, and it sold. Bird feeder, so anything that will energize the place, koi carps, any sort of animal things, you know, you go, William Spear told us this story, William Spear, Feng Shui practitioner from America. He was, I don't know whether it was his client or he just heard the story. This guy had 3 plots of land to sell. He sold 2 very quickly, but they were in the remote areas of some state. He had a problem with the 3rd one. And the suggestion was that he would go and throw some bread for the birds to attract, because there was nothing there. So to attract positive chi. And he was doing that, and somebody stopped on the road and asked him, "What are you doing here?" Yeah? And he sold him the plot. Prismatic crystal in Tai Chi. This is one of a few rituals that kind of you need to be careful how to do it, because it changes a lot. So basically what you do is you put a prismatic crystal, the rainbow crystal that split light into a rainbow, and you put it in the middle of the house in your Tai Chi. So it might have light because of the skylight or whatever, but it's not about that. It's really to change your bagua. When you put a crystal like that in the middle of your house, the bagua starts to move. It creates a huge change. So it's good for selling, but also good for change. You're really stuck, do this ritual and see what happens. And St. Joseph, I mean, in this country, I've worked with quite a few estate agents, but they're not really into it. In America, big time. Estate agents use it all the time. And this is a classic one from America, where St. Joseph is a patron of estate agents. Yeah. So what they do, they have a statue of St. Joseph, and they bury the statue in the ground of the place they want to sell. If they did it in the Helpful Friends corner, I'm sure it would work better, but it works. It's a classic ritual. So, summary, make a checklist of the things you want to do. Intent for good, happy buys. You know how many people, when they want to sell the place, they want to sell it to somebody good, because it makes you feel good. Yeah. So you kind of that intention, because you want to pass it on. You maybe had a good time or whatever, and you want to pass it on to someone. So intent for happy buyers, and when you move out, a few things that are important. Be grateful, obviously. Say goodbye, and take your spirit with you. And quite often, I get phone calls from people, and they, once they move, they had accidents, and things go wrong. That's because part of their soul or spirit was left there. They didn't take it with themselves, so it kind of split. So it's very important to go through all the rooms and say goodbye or thank you, whatever way, and take your spirit with you. Very important. And on that note, I'll tell you an interesting story that probably 15 years ago, I had a client, and we sold the place very quickly because her husband died. And I said, you know, do this ritual, take your spirit with you. So when everything was moved out of the house, she went to every room and said, thank you. There was nothing there, but she got to the attic, and empty attic, but there was quite a large vase in the corner. And she was like, what's this? So she went there and she looked. There was 20,000 pounds in cash. So they almost ripped the whole house apart, and they found hundreds of thousands of pounds in cash. This guy loved hiding money all over the place. So that's quite a nice... and the most important thing, love your home. Love your home once you get to that point. So. But it's nice sort of, even if you do little things for the place here, it will help to sell. So any questions? So my little plug. I've been writing this book for a long time, but hopefully it will come up in October, November, and you can get it on Kindle.
Yeah, can I ask a quick question? Because my husband really doesn't want to sell our house, so he's this blocking energy. So I put your postcard
Oh yes.
after the I put it in the eastern sector, and instantly we had 2 people, we hadn't had anyone for months coming round, but it sort of feels like
well,
the
you need
energy
to,
rises as a
yes.
result.
Well, because obviously, yeah, you need to address the issue. You need to
Is there a, can I wrap them up in red paper and throw them in?
No, I don't think I would do that. No, you need to sit down and kind of logically talk to sort of left brain, the young part, and sort of explain how you know. But are you desperate to sell, or not really?
Well, yes.
Okay. Have you started looking for a new place?
No.
Yeah, start looking for a new place. It will take your energy out and involves him, and you start to find other things. You know, you need to know where there is already a place for you somewhere. Yeah, and you just need to do a few things. Try any of these, but I think you need to address fear, uncertainty, and doubt in him. One of the key things that I sometimes use when people have that sort of emotions and states is tapping, emotional freedom technique, where you just tap on acupuncture point, and you can do it for another person without them knowing. So you can shift somebody's energy by just tapping on the points and clear that. Maybe just that. I think it needs just clearing, and you probably don't need to do anything else, because, you know, as you mentioned earlier, I think you're quite good at Feng Shui, so you know what to do. So, any other questions?
Yeah, I followed all your rituals right through the summer. Nothing happened. People came to the house, loved the house, didn't sell.
I know.
Until the autumn, until my husband made up his mind where he wanted to be, which was not where he had decided he was going to be before. You know, that was in October, on October the 22nd, because we had a bit of a scene about it. And I knew things would change. In November, a new buyer came along with cash, moved out. We moved out of the house in January into the place that we're in. We found a place that was absolutely right for us. When I checked to see where the house spirit was, to talk to it, to ask it if would it like to come with us, it had already left ahead of us.
So there you are. That's a good example of intention. Quite often it's just that. People make an intention, make a strong commitment, it sells. All the other things are rituals, and I always said that rituals is a servant of intention. Obviously you need to have an energy as well, so that helps, but good example.